welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, that's Occupancy, and we are going to break down some baseball games here, and then we'll get to the playoff game, the first game one of the Stanley Cup Final. May have a couple others joining us for that as well, so we will get to that in a bit, but we'll start with baseball. There is one game about to start here shortly. I didn't type anything out for it, but because it's basically starting here right now, we'll just quickly talk about it. The Twins are headed to Seattle for game two for game three of their series here. Currently tied at one game apiece. The Twins lost yesterday. Not really a very good game on their part. Getting shut out, but those games will happen. Here in this one, we have Gonzalez against Sonny Gray. Gonzalez against Minnesota in 4 games. He's 0-3 with a 9.37 ERA. So Minnesota has absolutely smashed Gonzalez when they faced him. Sonny Gray in 13 games against Seattle. He's 5-3 with a 2.89 ERA. I think Sonny Gray is the better pitcher on the year as well. Coming off a injury, but I look for him to put in a good performance here. The Twins have absolutely lit up Seattle, so I think that probably continues here in the early game that starts in about 5 minutes. Occupancy, any thoughts in this Minnesota game about to start here?
Yeah, I laid off this game for the sole reason that I cashed Seattle -1.5 yesterday. Parlay with the Dodgers -1.5, which was a nice payday. Marco Gonzalez had a rough outing in his last start, 6 walks, I believe. I watched a post-game interview. He was pretty upset. The whole the whole Seattle radio booth was so upset about it. Like, oh, he's not that bad. It's it was just a rough time. He's a bounce back guy. He puts in a lot of work. They were really coming to support him. With that though, when you mix money and good feelings, sometimes you don't get results. And I'm not going to mix money and good feelings like that today. So I'm going to lay off. I had the Seattle money line bet in my bet slip. I took it out. I'm going to see if those pay off in the long run. But for now, it's a layoff. I am interested in the total. To be honest, I know the over hasn't hit yet, but I think it needs to, just based on the way Minnesota had played previously. And if you're not taking the Marco Gonzalez good feelings, angle of this, then he's not going to do so well tonight, potentially. So I want to see some runs. I got some numbers for the totals. Opened up at I'm seeing 4s for the team totals over there. So that they expect this game to get 8 runs. That's kind of what that says to me. So I'm going to be looking to live bet the over here. I think we can get over the hump.
All right. And I'll give it out right now because obviously this game is about to start. Manny just messaged me, and his dog of the day is actually Seattle. So he's taking Seattle as his dog of the day, about to start here shortly. We'll jump into the first game that I chose for us to talk about, and that's Atlanta Braves. -200 are heading to Washington, +170. Total of 9.5 in this one. This Braves team is just a wagon right now. They've won 13 in a row, or 12 in a row. Sorry, I should actually get that up. Make sure I'm correct. I believe it's 12 in a row. But they've been playing great baseball, getting close to the Mets and the standings. Just a week ago, that looked like it was a clear-cut lead for them. They're 5 games behind now, They've won 13 games in a row facing this Nationals team. Eric Fedde has not enjoyed playing Atlanta. In 8 games in his career against Atlanta, he's 0-4 with a 10.8 ERA. A 10.8 ERA in 8 games. He has absolutely got smashed by Seattle. He's given up 50 hits in 31 and two-thirds innings. So 50 hits in 31 innings against Atlanta. Ozuna is 6 for 9 against him. Duvall is 7 for 15 against him. And Riley is 6 for 15 against him. So those three have absolutely smashed him. This Atlanta Braves team is smashing the ball right now. I think it's a pretty clear decision on where to go with this one. I took Atlanta -1.5. I got that at -118. And I also took Atlanta team total over 5.5, which I got at +100. I wouldn't talk anybody off going Atlanta team total over 6.5. I think they score another 9-10 runs again. They've absolutely smashed Eric Fedde, and then of course they'll get to the Nationals bullpen as well. Absolutely love Atlanta tonight. They are the first money line in my 2-team parlay for my best bet. Those have been cashing for quite a bit now, and so they are definitely the first team in that. I like Atlanta to win convincingly. Occupancy, Braves and Nationals. What do you think of this one? You're muted.
No worries. My bad. I'm on Atlanta as well tonight. I like the way this team's been playing. Strider, I got to watch him pitch, and he actually seemed like he had some pretty good pitch control, and I think he's got enough pitches to throw to get the job done here. His ERA 2.35. It's almost Fetty's almost double him. Looking to live bet Atlanta team total. Wasn't too interested in the pregame line for them. You got to lay. Yeah, I'm seeing 5 -105. What'd you get it at, Terry? You were saying some talking about
team total
not
over
talking to anyone.
5.5.
Yeah.
I got it at +100 earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's line shopping though.
No, it's good though. I that's what going in late to stuff kind of gets you sometimes. Pray for a scoreless first 1 or 2 innings, and then write that down and go right to the live betting with it with your unit ready kind of thing. It doesn't seem like gambling when they've hit at least 3 runs in their last 10 games. That's just if you can get a pretty good number when the time's right. It depends what you're trying to go, man. I mean, I've been on the hazy train. These West Coast hazies are pretty nice. But I can't talk you off of Modelo or Modelo Negro or something. But we'll see. This baseball game should be cool.
Yeah. Cabano, I don't drink beer, so I'm sorry. I have absolutely nothing to say to help you with that one. We'll go on along to this one. Most likely the game of the night in baseball. The Tampa Bay Rays are headed to New York again to face the Yankees. +115 for the Rays, -135 for the Yankees, a total of 7 in this one. The pitching matchup we have today is what a great matchup. Nestor Cortez against Shane McClanahan. Both pitchers under a 2 ERA on the year. I could see this being a crazy pitchers duel. But I was leaning with the first 5 under 3.5. And I was looking at that. But the price was like -130. So this Yankees offense has been smashing the ball. They're not so good against lefties, but it's still the Yankees, and I'm just a little nervous at taking them under 3.5 minus 130. I couldn't get to it. So even though I don't expect a lot of runs in here, I totally could see this being a 1-1, 1-0 type game going into the fifth. I'm just not quite confident enough in the Yankees offense being quieted that much to take that. Also, Cortez coming off a bit of a rough start. While I totally expect him to bounce back again, that doesn't really make me feel too confident about the under. So my lean is with the under 3.5, but I didn't officially get to anything in this game. But I still want to talk about it as it's probably going to be the game of the night for most people. Occupancy, Rays and Yankees. What do you think in this one?
Yeah, certainly, Terry. Game of the night potential. If you look at McClanahan's last outing, he got a 2-1 victory against St. Louis. Um, I think it was pretty sharp. Not many mistakes. That aside from that one run, I mean, playing at that level. We've seen a couple pitchers do it this season. Aaron Nola, he's done it. And I think McClanahan comes out and has a game like that. So I'm not going to talk anyone off and under. And I'm also not going to talk anyone on backing the dog the whole game. So I'm on the Rays in the first 5. I think we can either get a push with Nestor, um, you know, scoreless or a 1-1 type game, something after 5 even. And then, push. I don't care if it's a tie. But yeah, a push is a win to me. And obviously not getting paid for it, but not losing anything. And in this business, it's half the battle. So that's the way I'm going to take it. When I was trying to decide on the side, really what I looked at it's like two ways to like look at people. Kind of, I said like, okay, Nestor got blown up with at mini, so I think it kind of opened the curtain a little bit on him, and he's obviously great, but is he the great or like one of the greatest? I don't know. And I don't know if McClanahan is either. But if someone's coming off that, I mean, that anyone watch that St. Louis Cardinals game with the Rays? I mean, that was a tight game. Like that was like entertaining baseball. If you like, just not a lot of mistakes, not a lot of action, just like clean baseball. I'm back in McClanahan in the first 5. It's one of it's a I like the look. We'll see what happens, but I like it.
All right. Yeah, I was also leaning that way as well, but I kind of get to it. Whenever I've kind of gone against the Yankees, it hasn't gone well for me lately, so I just decided not to. Oh, we'll move on along. 2 more games before we get to last pitch, and then the hockey. The Baltimore Orioles plus 250 in Toronto against the Blue Jays minus 310. A total of 9.5 in this one. The Jays lost 6-5 yesterday. They did lose against the Orioles. My team total over 5.5, just barely lost. I did get the full game over 9, so that was good. But the Jays lost. I don't want to blame Kikuchi, but the Jays have been losing when he pitches, so you can do with what you wish with that. But Barrios on the other side has been really good his last 2 games, and he's been very good against the Orioles. In his career, in 8 games, he's 6-0 with a 2.94 ERA against Baltimore. He's done very well. Zimmerman, I don't believe he has faced Toronto I don't believe he has faced Toronto in his career, but I will bring up his last 3 games here. So this is his last 3 games. All losses. 10 hits and 7 earned runs against Kansas City, the worst team in baseball. 10 earned runs and 5 hits against a Cleveland team that is not very good against lefties and is much better against righties. And then 8 hits and 6 earned runs and 4 innings against Boston. Well, Boston is strong offense right now. So those are his last 3 games. And now he gets to come to Toronto and face the Blue Jays, who are off a loss yesterday, have the best hitting numbers of any team in the month of June, and are third best against lefties, hitting lefties. I think this is just a great spot to do something that I did a couple days ago, and that's take the Jays minus 2.5, which I got at plus 104. Also going right back to Toronto team total over 5.5 at minus 112. Toronto money line is the second part of my best bet. And I'll also bring my parlays down at the bottom now in the scroller. Atlanta money line, Toronto money line plus 104, which will be my best bet for today. I like Toronto to bounce back in this spot against Zimmerman, and I don't think he's going to last too long. It's a perfect storm here for the Jays. I think it's going to be a great game. Occupancy, Orioles and Blue Jays. What do you think here?
Yeah, Terry. I know this team is close, dear to your heart, and as they should be. They're a fun team to watch. Good pitchers. I've had this team right in the last 2 games. Game 1 of the series I was on. Game 2, I went to the other side, and now I'm coming back to the Blue Jays. Couple trends I just want to make note. Yeah, I don't look too much into the advanced stats, but I do take a look at them. And Zimmerman's FIP numbers are going in the wrong direction. So some of the younger guys who were pitching and had like rough starts, like their FIP numbers are going down. Zimmerman's are going up. So with that trend, I'm going to try to go 3 for 3 with this series. Or do they play a 4th tomorrow? Actually,
Yeah, it'll be Gosman
okay.
pitching tomorrow before the Yankees series on Friday.
So 3 for 3, and then hopefully 4 for 4.
Oh, all right. We'll move on along to the next game here. Milwaukee minus 140 are headed to New York to face the Mets plus 120. Total of 7.5 in this one. I know Corbin Burns is on the mound for the
Sorry,
Brewers.
Terry. Philly just walked off. I don't mean to.
No, really?
I know, dude. Yeah, 3-run homer.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, there goes my Miami money line bet. Awesome. Hey, it's going to happen. But yes, back to this game. Corbin Burns on the mound for Milwaukee. And that's basically why the price is as it is. But this Brewers team should not be minus 140 against anybody, let alone the the best team in the National League and the second best team in the league. I get it. It's Corbin Burns. Milwaukee's won 1 of their last 10 games, playing really bad baseball. Not to mention that the Mets are very good against right-handed pitchers. And the Brewers, who have the second worst offense in the month of June, are also not very good against lefties. They're much better against righties. And they're facing David Peterson, who has pitched well. So I think this is a great underdog price with the Mets. Milwaukee should not be minus 140 against anybody right now. And I think this is a good spot for the Mets at a nice plus price, which, they have some injuries as well. But they're just a much better team than this Milwaukee team. Also, another thing I wanted to kind of give out here, I haven't placed the bet yet, but I'm looking to place it sometime tonight. St. Louis Cardinals are plus 125 to win the NL Central. They currently have a 2.5 game lead over this Milwaukee team. And I think it's a great bet, plus money, to get them while they are winning now. Or sorry, to get them while they're still kind of close and not and haven't extended the lead. So I like the I like the Mets in this game. Occupancy, what do you think here? Brewers and Mets.
Brewers and Mets. What a matchup. Um, this Brewers team couldn't hit the ball last night. It was, great performance on the other end. It was definitely um, credit to Bassett. Stepped up, and I think they're getting a couple their pitchers back from injury soon. So we'll see how the rotation shapes out. But the way I've just been handling the Brewers are fade them. Um, they are kind of up and down, and obviously they have some sluggers who can get the job done. So I have this in a parlay. Not I am on the Mets money line tonight. Um, Again, I don't take too much credence in the advanced numbers, but Burns, his FIP numbers are just steady at a high two, low three, which is a good place to be for the FIP side. So I expect him to do what he usually does, and then I expect the Brewers hitters to do what they usually do, and that's just let their fans down. So I'll be on the Mets side tonight. Hopefully, it's a good game.
All right, I like it. We'll head here to last pitch and go over the rest of the baseball games. Occupancy, do you actually want to go first in this one? And I'll let the group know that we're about to
Yeah,
start it.
yeah. I can roll a couple sides and totals I like. The Oakland Boston game. I'm going with Boston. I'd use a calculator to go, or a -1 line if you can get it with them. This kid, Winkowski, he's apparently like a prospect. He looked pretty good in the minors. I was hearing a little bit about him. So I'm just trying to get on that side tonight. So yeah, Boston to win the game by one. I think is a good look. Um, I on the Pittsburgh game. I know I haven't bet it yet, but I just bet on Contreras. Usually every time I see his name pop up, he's looked pretty good, and I think maybe might get traded. I don't know if that was a real thing, and he's just like doing a showcase right now. So I think he's going to be zoned in. If anything, maybe that St. Louis get 2+ money bets with the St. Louis full game, and then maybe Pittsburgh first five. You can look that way. I don't like Pittsburgh though on their offense. Just so stale sometimes. I mean, they scored 2 runs yesterday in 2 doubleheaders, and just shut out Yadier Molina on record-setting putouts past Pudge Rodriguez over there in St. Louis. There was this whole thing, if anyone was watching the game, where he got Brubaker on a balk. Basically, I don't know if anyone saw this or even if they showed it on these highlights, but he got Brubaker for a balk advance, and then they got an extra run out of it. And I was on the under in that first game, which was nice. That was a nice cash. But yeah, I mean, baseball's been cold. It's just starting to heat up. But yeah, don't love betting against St. Louis. That's why I'm not officially on that Pittsburgh first five or anything. But I'd be looking that way. I did take in the next game. I did take a first five play. That would be the Padres Cubs game. Again, same kind of thing. Weather's prospect. I don't think they expect to go very far. And I still definitely love stories about people getting pulled up and then playing well. And stuff. But I always bet against someone like new or newish. I just think it's a very rare talent to come into a big league and play well right away. So I think I got to track it, but over the course of time, I feel like it would be more profitable to just, a couple of rocky starts. Your hands are shaking when you're trying to throw a major league ball in a ballpark on a day. It's a lot of pressure. So I'm on the Cubs first five for that. That's one of my best bets. How are we doing on time, Terry? You want me to keep rolling through, or
Oh,
we going?
whenever we can. Whenever you're good. Whenever you're done, you're done.
Okay, my
I'll
bad. I was
quickly
just checking it.
sip. Yeah.
The last two games. Cleveland, Jose Ramirez equals good at baseball. Lasered a ball at the top of the 10th, right past Crone's head. It was either I'm gonna have my face messed up for 2 weeks and maybe save this game, or I'm ducking and letting in the run. And CJ Crone probably did what most of us would do and got out of the way of that hit. That was pretty wild. That was the last leg, or one of the last legs of a couple parlays. So that was nice to catch for sure. If anything, it's gonna go back to the well on Cleveland. But I haven't gone to that game yet, and don't sleep on the Guardians, man. -2.5 back with a good pitching staff. I know we're starting to look at futures. I started looking at potentially Cleveland, but I'm going to hold off because I think a lot of things can change, and I think there's still some dangerous opponents there, so I'm not super pumped about that. But anyway, lean towards Cleveland, nothing official, and then this last game, I'm right back on the Dodgers money line and run line. I think things turned around. For the Dodgers last night. They they got out of a little sweaty situation last night, but hey, they got 2 runs, that little extra insurance run with Mookie's homer. Definitely, I think they're turning that around. Their win percentage is back up 600s where it should be at 623. I'll keep an eye on that and see where teams finish. Like, if they're going to win 100 ball games this this season, they're going to be right around there. So Angels are just going through something, and it is what it is. And I'm going to look to back Dodgers tonight.
All right. My parlays are in the bottom. Basically, the only game that I have that I got involved in baseball that we didn't talk about was the St. Louis Cardinals. That is one of my favorite pitchers to back, Jack Flaherty. He's made me a ton of money since I started betting baseball. So I'm happy that he's back this year, and I'll be excited to back him, which was my second parlay there, which is Minnesota and St. Louis for plus 174. I like the Cardinals. But we will move on along to hockey. We'll bring DJ in. Welcome on in. And we'll jump into the game here. So it's pretty interesting. You're wearing an Avalanche jersey there. And Cubano saying that the only way Avs win tonight is if Patrick Roy is in net. He is not. The Minnesota Wild were very happy to end his career, his playing career and his coaching career in the NHL. So they can always bring that up when talking to Avalanche fans. But Lightning win first game, Avs off a long layoff. They are. I'll bring up the first poll before we actually go into the game, break down the game. So this I asked a few days ago, and that's what is going to happen in the 2021-2022 Stanley Cup Final. 51.9% say that Tampa Bay will win in 6 or 7 games. 33.3% say Colorado will win in 6 or 7. And then 7.4% Colorado in 4 or 5, and 7.4% Tampa Bay in 4 or 5. So people expecting this to be a long series, and I can totally see why people would think that. In this game, in game 1, I'll actually bring up, let me get the poll that I did today, which is for this game. So 1 second here. So I asked people today, What to bet here in game one? 78.9%, including myself. As you can see, the check mark says take Tampa Bay money line plus 135. 10.5% say take the over, and 5.3% say take Colorado and reg, and 5.3% says take the under 6. So people are kind of expecting Tampa Bay and someone else, I think, just the poll ended. That's why. 78.9% think Tampa. So I know some people are kind of worried sometimes being on the same side when Twitter is on the same side, but I am on the Tampa Bay Lightning here. I did take them in the first period on the money line. I'll credit Melissa for that, for the idea. She's on that as well, and it was a great look. So I'm on that, and I like Tampa Bay to win the full game as well. I do have a Stanley Cup future on Tampa to win the Cup, so obviously I'm hoping for that. But I do think, as people have said, the long layoff for Colorado may bite them here in this first game. But this is not going to be a 4-game sweep. I think this is going to be a long series. So for any Colorado people that are looking to back Colorado, you may want to wait till after tonight's game to bet them to win the series, bet them to win the Cup. Because if Tampa Bay wins, you'll get a nice price on Colorado to win the Cup. Occupancy, Lightning and Avalanche. What do you think here in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final?
Yeah, there's a special shout out to this day. The beginning of the best postseason in sports. This is the final round here. So to all players, fans, bettors, hockey enthusiasts around the world, this is the big day. So let's enjoy it, make it a good one.
Let me quickly interrupt.
Yeah.
It's Kemper for Rasim, or for anyone who was wondering. It's Kemper.
Okay. Yeah. So the way I approached, investing in this series, is a final result of the Avalanche lifting the cup. But it's front loaded with Tampa to win tonight, to win the first period. And at that point, that ticket is almost like an insurance call, because then you can sort of play each game if that happens. If it doesn't happen, then you got to be going Colorado puck line, I guess, to make it back on the way. But we'll see what happens tonight. The reason why I ended up on the Lightning side at the end of the day was because I think they have the advantage in net by a couple tiers. And I've been reading about Tampa's defense as a whole, and they let up the least amount of goals out of all the teams in playoffs. I think I saw 2.41. I got to double fact check, but their defense is solid, and not that Colorado's isn't. So I don't even think there's that much of a. But if you went line for line, player for player, there is one area where there's a huge advantage, and I am not saying anything bad about the Avs goaltending. I think Francouz played really well in the Edmonton series, but they're not going with him tonight, and they're going with someone who got hurt a little bit and is playing against two-time Cup champions as an underdog. Going to be riding, Tampa, get it done, game 1, first period. Also on the under 1.5 in the first, and then for Colorado to win the series.
All right. DJ, welcome on in. What do you think here for the series, and what do you think here for game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final?
I really just hate the disrespect Darcy Kemper is getting out there right now because of maybe 2 bad games, and really only a half a bad game. A guy that was a .921 save percentage goalie all season long, one of the best goalies in the league, even though he was on a great team. I know that helps. I think he's a much better goalie than anyone gives him credit for. I think he's back. I know the injury was scary, but it was an eye injury that seemingly is all good to go now. I think the rest helped Colorado a lot. I don't like that narrative either. These guys live and breathe hockey 365 days a year. So having a week off, I don't think hurts them as much as people make it that narrative out to be. I also don't think Tampa has nearly. I think what they did really well against the Rangers, they won't be able to do well against Colorado. And that was forecheck the life out of bad defensemen not bad defensemen entirely, but defensemen that are not good at breaking the puck out, like Jake Trouba. And I'm not saying Jake Trouba is a terrible defender. I'm just saying he's not the best at breaking the puck out. While Taves, Bo Byram, and Kale McCarr obviously are three of the best in the league. This team is really good at moving the puck quickly, getting the puck out of their zone, and Tampa Bay is not going to have the same opportunity to score in the forecheck like they did against the Rangers, which is really the only avenue they found other than letting Kucherov and Stamkos make odd man rushes because, again, Jake Trouba was trying to take someone's head off instead of play defense. So I don't think Colorado's going to fall into that trap. I think they have a much better full roster than Tampa, even with the injury to Kadri. I think Braden Point's playing at 75, 80%. There's no way he's at 100. And he'll be probably on the third line, which is why I don't want to take him in any capacity. I think if you're going to bet him, which first off, DraftKings doesn't even have him listed for a goal right now, but maybe it'll pop up. I think if you're going to bet him, he's over 2.5 for plus 140. I think that's more likely to hit because he'll be playing with not probably Stamkos or Kucherov and maybe get a bit more of the lion's share of shots with projecting Ross Colton and maybe the thing is we're really just guessing on Tampa lines right now until we know about Hagel and et cetera. So we'll wait that out. I just don't have a lot of time for the Lightning. I think that if you look at the entire season and the playoffs, you're seeing a team that really got pretty lucky with goaltending and finding goals in situations that don't always produce goals. So I think I'm out on them. I'm going to bet the puck line for Colorado because I think they're a far superior team at home, well rested. And I don't think that I don't think Tampa really has as great of a defense as everyone makes it out to be. Victor Hedman got hurt in the final game. I think he's still going to be playing a bit injured. And then after that, I mean, you're really rolling out guys like Bogosian and John Bruda quite a bit, and that's not good. I don't think Colorado. I get Jack Johnson. That's the only one that they're rolling out that I think is not that good. Other than that, they have 5 really good defenders. So I'm not falling for it. I think that this Tampa stuff is because more people watch the East Coast games and they watched Tampa throughout the playoffs and they didn't stay up and watch Colorado and they didn't see how dominant this team was for, they won what? They swept twice and they lost 2 games total. And people are sitting here like galaxy braining Tampa, I think. And it's just not what I want to do. The Florida series, I'll give them the pass. They won a series they probably shouldn't have in 4 games very decisively. And the rest, I think that they were just okay. So I'm not really buying it. I think Darcy Kemper is going to show up and play well, and I'm probably going to bet the puck line every night. And I don't think it's going to be a sweep for Colorado, but I took them in 5. And I know that a lot of people in the industry don't like this take. They think I'm fine. Like I just bet what my math tells me. I think tonight Colorado's puck line is the best bet. I don't think we need to overthink anything. But I think if you're betting Tampa, if that's what you're going with, first off, you're betting Vasilevsky save prop. You're just betting that. You're saying Tampa's winning. You're betting that 32.5. I mean, he's going to see 35 plus shots. So you're betting that A. That's the easiest thing. And then you're betting the under. If you're betting Colorado, I think you bet the over. You're just assuming that they find ways to score goals. They get some power play luck. And that's the way the game goes. So that's what I would do. And yeah, Schenkel, good to see you out there. Yep. How's it going, buddy? I do agree. I don't get it. I really think this is a lot of recency bias that isn't really based in anything other than like Vasilevsky looked pretty good. And boy, did the Rangers make it look really easy on him. As far as props are concerned, I'm just going to get to a couple really quickly. Arturi Lehkonen is just mispriced for a power play point. It is clear. He is the first power play. They practiced with him on the first power play again today. He's been there in the past. Plus 425 for anytime point is insane. I mean, that is just a clear mispricing. I know it's plus 425 because, it's tough to hit those, but every one of his line mates is under plus 200. So on the power play, that is, he is basically the way. I'm not going to go too deep because most people probably don't care. But the way their power play works is like Makar is going to be on the point, and he's going to go to McKinnon, who's going to be on this side. Rantanen is on the other side as best he can be. They want to feed him the most, and the puck's going to funnel through Landeskog and Lehkonen. They're going to funnel from behind the net to the front of the net, and they would love to feed them in the slot if they can, but they're more pass-offs to Rantanen. I think Rantanen is going to be the primary rate shooter on this power play as much as they can make it. And I think Lekkonen's going to feed him a lot because they want to move the puck that way. They're hoping to get him on an off chance. And I know that my diagram probably made very little sense because I think it's backwards how I'm trying to do it. But if you just go to hockeyviz.com, you can kind of see the way they've been shooting. And you also have the opportunity for a tip. Lekkonen doesn't shoot enough. Look at the past 4 games, Toby. He has like 100 shot attempts. I don't know. He's playing with Rantanen and Burakovsky as a really, really skilled line, and everyone's trying to take away Rantanen because he's their best shooter. I know McKinnon will shoot the most, but Rantanen has a better shot. So, yeah, I bet Lekkonen shot prop as well. I think he's going to see a ton of run again. I bet him for a point. It's plus money, and he's playing with Rantanen and first power play. He just kind of seems like the guy that everyone's going to forget about. I think if you're playing series long for DraftKings, you should include him in as a cheaper play. He's obviously the easiest guy to plug in. And on Showdown tonight as well. Lekkonen is my guy. If he folds, what are you going to do? It's all plus money bets. The only other bet that I'm very high on is Kucherov over 3.5 plus 140. Actually, it's 130 now. I bet it at plus 140 because it's not priced correctly. They put 3.5 plus 140 when that actually should equate to 130, where they moved it back to now. That's how that should be for the over 2.5 at like minus 200 or whatever the math is. It's priced incorrectly. It's now priced accurately, but he's shooting over 6.5, almost 7 shot attempts per game. It's a pretty big plus money bet. So I like him a lot because Stamkos is surprisingly not getting the shot volume that over the course of the entire playoffs that you think, and either of them can turn it on at any point. Now I've probably talked plenty enough, so I'll let you guys. It's good to have. I like that you guys went all in Tampa. I don't have to talk about Tampa that much, so I took all the Colorado stuff.
Hey, no, it's great to have different opinion. And obviously, like you, the shot props and everything, a lot of info there, but it's a lot of great info. We're on different sides, but that's always good. If everybody was on the same side, it would be a boring show, and people wouldn't be able to.
He's going to steal one of these games. I just don't think he's going to steal 4 games. I don't think he's going to steal game 1, if you will. And I also we watched 2 teams that lost. We watched the Rangers lose, putting Ryan Strome out there at 70%, maybe less, and he was a straight liability. I'm not going to say Draisaitl was a liability with his high ankle sprain, but man, the guy couldn't do that much. And he's still a factor there, but that's the reason it was a sweep. And now you're going to roll out Braden Point, clearly not at 100% with a lower body injury. I'm just not on it. I just don't think that people are. I think that's what they're talking us into. It's like Braden Point's back. This team's way better, and it's like this isn't 100% Braden Point. There's just no way.
Yeah. On the saves props, DJ, I know what you're saying with backing Tampa and then betting Vasilevsky save props to go along with it. Just the way they're priced, that 32.5 is a difference, but with the way Colorado plays, and if you're expecting them to continue their system, it's a good bet still, because they're putting up numbers, the high 30s, low 40s, and unless Tampa somehow is really going to stop that trend, I think the Vasilevsky saves props is definitely live, just because of stuff I've been hearing about game 1s being their own animal and unpredictable. I haven't bet it, but what I would recommend is to actually go for the over 34.5 at plus money with a lower the unit volume, make it a smaller bet and see if Tampa is able to really stop that system, or Colorado still be, putting up that 40 spot on the shots. And then, because that could be a really good way to make money this series. And yeah, we'll see. It'll be an entertaining game, regardless what happens.
Yeah, I just think there's a lot of avenues where Colorado puts 35 plus on net, in many different game scripts. I don't think they're going to run away and hide early. I think it's going to be contested. I just think they get the empty netter, or maybe have a 2-goal lead late and Tampa can't quite find it. I just really looking at the expected goals. Tampa just doesn't do it for me. Anything outside of Kucherov and Stamkos is bad. I know this Sorelli line looks good, but if you, I retweeted the JFresh graphic. It's all on the forecheck. It's just they forechecked bad defenders into submission with the Sorelli line and found ways to produce off that. And it's not sustainable against Colorado. This is not the same animal.
All right. We'll move right along to best bets And we'll start with dog of the day, as we always do. For me, I'm taking the New York Mets as my dog of the day. Nick, Tim, and Occupancy, you're all taking Tampa Bay Lightning as your dog of the day. Brian is going with the San Diego Padres. And Manny, as earlier said, is on the Seattle Mariners. DJ, I know you only do hockey and you're on Colorado, so I'm guessing no dog of the day for you today.
I don't even look at the baseball. I've bet like 2 things in baseball this season for fun. I really feel like it's just a money pit. I don't know how they price it so well. I don't like, I'm done with it. I won't do it.
I'll play the third line and increase their power play production.
Yeah. As long as Hagel's out, he'll be on the third line. I'm almost positive. And if Hagel, I'd be surprised if he's out. That's the guy I want to bet tonight, because if you look at expected goals over the whole playoffs, Hagel is exactly the same as Stamkos for expected goals, getting actually more minutes in games that are contested, but about the same. So he's a guy I think is a huge, like, I know this is probably a terrible take, but at 70% missing and Hagel at 100% missing, I think they're about the same. Like, I think Hagel is a difference maker if he's healthy, a big one. And I think Point, if healthy, is way better. I'm not saying that, but I don't think Point is 100%. And we'll see. We'll see it tonight.
Yeah, game 1 will be a good test for the rest of the series for sure.
But no dog of the day. Yes, correct.
Over or under. For me, I'm taking Toronto Blue Jays team total over 5.5. Nick is taking New York Yankees Tampa Bay first 5 under 3.5. Tim is taking New York Yankees and Tampa Bay full game under 7.5. Bryant is going Atlanta team total over 2.5 in the first 5 innings. Occupancy, no total for you. And Manny is going with Pittsburgh St. Louis under 8.5. DJ, do you like a total? First period, team total, full game total, any kind of total in this game?
I mean, I'll just do Colorado over 3.5 plus 125 or 3. I can't find it. I don't know how you're going to look, but I think they get 4. I mean, I feel like we're just forgetting that it's Colorado. Like, I think everyone just, like, for some reason has found a way to convince themselves this is not the same team that scored like 100 goals this season. I don't know. So I'm in on it. It's big plus money, and all they need is that empty netter. Like, I think they get 2 real easily. If they get that third and that empty netter, it's game. Tampa will pull the goalie. I'm not that worried.
I want to talk you off that, Adam. Anything Blue Jays today. any Blue Jays prop is good for today. We'll go on to best bets, best parlay pieces here. For me, Atlanta money line, Toronto money line plus 104. Best parlay piece, Atlanta team total over 3.5. Nick is going with a big ballsy play, trying to take the lead. He's going to take Tampa Bay, Braden Point, the first goal scorer of the game, for plus 1,200. So he thinks Tampa, Braden Point will score first. And his best parlay piece is Tampa Bay plus 1.5. Tim is going into the WNBA for his best bet, taking Phoenix and and I think it's Indianapolis or Indiana. I'm not sure. I don't know in WNBA. Phoenix and Indiana over 168.5. His best parlay piece, Mets plus 1.5. Bryant is taking Atlanta's pitcher, Strider, over 5.5 strikeouts, parlayed with Acuna Jr. over 1.5 total bases from hits, plus 239. Yankees plus 1.5 as his parlay piece. Occupancy, you're going Tampa Bay first 5 money line, parlayed with Chicago Cubs first 5 money line, and the Mets full game money line for plus 681. Best parlay piece, Toronto minus 1.5. You can go Toronto money line if you want, but it's totally up to you.
The reason why I did it is because I'm not going to bet the minus 2.5.
Oh, okay.
And then also for the reason why I have no over under, looking at this new model, and the system only spat out an over in the Mets game. But I think something's weird happening in the Milwaukee side of things. They're having a hard time hitting. So I just stayed off.
All right. And Manny, his best bet is Atlanta, parlayed with Toronto, and parlayed with Tampa Bay plus 1.5 from hockey, Tampa Bay Lightning. So Atlanta money line, Toronto money line, and Tampa Bay Lightning plus 1.5, plus 204. Blue Jays money line as his parlay piece. DJ, what do you think here for best bet, best parlay piece?
I mean, I haven't really done a lot of these in the playoffs, so I'll apologize. So I'll just say that I mean, there is clearly one bet on the board today in hockey that is just the biggest misprice I've seen. Plus 425, a Terry Lehkonen power play point. I just, it's wrong. It's like, I know it's a power play point. I know they're tough. But man, that is everyone else around him. I mean, you think, this is like, I mean, is this the best power play in the playoffs? Is a really good question. It maybe the second or third. It's right there with the top dogs. And I honestly, Toby, I hear you again. I know Vasilevsky is the best goalie they faced, but then again, that's not saying that much. Like they have gotten the luckiest goaltending. Colorado really has gotten lucky with bad goaltending against them. And I know Vasilevsky's really good, but I just don't think he's as good as people are making it out to be. Like, this is still a human in that, and he's playing Colorado. So I hear you, though. It is a substantial margin. And then I'll just give you my parlay piece if you want, while I'm already on a roll, just so it's in there, if you don't mind. Rantanen, over 2.5, minus 175. He is just better than that. I think I paid the rake on him. And I think Makar's been better in perpetuity in the playoffs at minus 180, but I really think that the regression to Rantanen being the primary rate shooter now is strong. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yep, Terry's right. NHL over NBA for sure. I don't even really think any of us have to ask that question. Of course, NHL is better than NBA. I think on this show we can all agree that. Tampa Bay does have almost 200 more penalty minutes than the Avs. So the power play could be a huge factor.
Yeah, I mean, and Tampa Bay likes to play that way on purpose. I know Cooper actually talked about this once, about how he would rather have a lot of penalties go both ways because they always have such a stronger power play than everyone else. And I mean, maybe they'll go with it again, but it's tough to not take penalties against Nathan McKinnon. Like, you watch how fast that guy is? You kidding me?
For sure. And we will end the show right there. Best luck to everybody tonight. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash the like button. We appreciate all the support. We'll see you again tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, for another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. Best of luck tonight, guys. Have a good one.